Hello Year 3 and welcome to our final spelling and handwriting lesson of the week. Our spelling rules today and our spelling words are guard and guide. And of course we're looking at homophones, which are words that sound the same but their spelling and meaning is different. Okay, let's have a look at our spelling words today, which are guard and guide. Now, guard, if you guard something, you're watching over or protecting someone or something. To guard. And guide, a guide could be a person who shows the way to others. Right, so what I want you to do is copy those two words down into your book neatly 3 times each in your best handwriting. Pause the video now to give yourself time to do that. We'll move on in 3, 2, 1. Right, we've got 2 target words there. The first word is guard. And we have to find out what the clues mean and what letters we need to fill the clues. So the first clue is the past tense of dig. So how do we say today I dig a hole, but yesterday yeah, there we go. And we have to use the letters there. So that one, we could use the letters there, and it's only 3 letters long. The next clue, an old piece of cloth, 3 letters. And the final clue, to pull something heavy, 4 letters. And then after you're done, cover up that word on the screen and try and spell the word guard in your book. And then check. And then once you've done that, I want you to do exactly the same with guide. And the clues are to make a hole with a spade, when you are expected to arrive, and you need to write the word backwards just to test that spelling of yours. And then you want to write it the right way because you've got to cover it up and then see if you can spell the word guide at the end. I'll give you a moment to pause the video, have a go at those, and then we'll check the answers. And we will check the answers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the past tense of dig is dug. An old piece of cloth is a rag. And to pull something heavy is to drag it. And obviously guard is spelled G-U-R... No, it isn't. Whoops. G-U-A-R-D. Very good. So it doesn't sound like there's a U in there, but there is G-U-A-R-D. And for guide, so to make a hole with a spade is dig. When you're expected to arrive, due. And writing the word backwards, there we have it on the screen there, E-D-I-U-G. Now cover the target word and spell it. It should be spelled G-U-I-D-E. And remember, there's a U in it straight after the G, even though it doesn't sound like it. And that's why guard and guide are similar. Let's move on. So we're looking at pairs of homophones again, aren't we? Who remembers what a homophone is? Well, it's on the screen twice, so I hope so. Homophones are words that sound the same, but have different spellings and meanings. So we have 2 pictures there. We have a ball, and we have someone bawling their eyes out. Oh! So we've got ball and ball. And because they sound the same, but they have different meanings and different spellings, they are homophones. Let's see if we can spot any more. So we want to fill in the gaps with the right homophones. And then we'll discuss the answers. So I want you to pause the video, write down these sentences, and put in the correct homophone. Okay, so for the first one, it's are you going to the fair? Now with that one, we're going to use the simple T-O, to the fair. There are only 2 places left. That's with this one, because that's the number spelling of 2. And there are too many people in here. So if there's too much or too many of something, there's an extra O on the end of the 2. So remember that, too many people in here. New or new? I knew you would do that. Now, if it's something that you know or that you thought that you knew, then that's got the K in front. And it's a silent K, and it still sounds the same as the other new. So New with a K at the front. Do you like my new shorts? Well, if it's something that's brand new that you've just bought, then that's going to be this one here, new, without the K. And finally, this car is brand new. Yes, that's that new again, that first new. The wind blew really hard. Now, if I had the wind and the colour blue really hard, that doesn't really work. So that would be this one here, blew really hard. My favourite colour is blue. That's right, well done. And finally, is that blue? Well, that's probably asking the colour of something, isn't it? So we would use this one here. Okay, well done if you got those. We'll move on in 3, 2, 1. Okay, next one, so or so. Have a moment to pause, have a look at them, and try to answer them before I go through the answers. And I'll go through the answers in 3, 2, 1. I couldn't climb over it, so I went around it. So that's this so here. It gives the alternative. It gives the other option. I couldn't climb over it, so I went around it. That's this so. Do you know how to sew? Now that's talking about the actual activity of sewing, isn't it? Which we can see with the ball of string here. So sew is spelt like that if you were sewing something together with a needle and a thread. See or see. Can you see me? That would be the double E for see. So see, double E. There's nothing to see here. That would be the same see just there. And the ship sailed across the sea, the wavy sea. Now that has that EA join at the end, sea, there. Right, last one. Sun or sun. The sun is going down, and that's talking about this sun here, which must mean it has the in the middle, sun. There we go. My son plays football really well. That would be this one. It's good. And finally, the sun shines really brightly, and that would be our first sun again there. So different spellings, different meanings, same sound. Let's move on. So we've got some cryptic clues again, like we did last time. And we're not going to work with a partner. We're going to do it ourselves because we can. So I'm going to have a go at this first. It says a cryptic clue might be a small fee to enter the theme park. Fair and fair. Very good. So those are our two options there. Now let's have a look at our first clue. It says a fantastic way to separate cheese into small pieces. Now I think that might be great. Let's have a look. Yes, and remember that's the type of great that we want for this one. But at the same time, we've got a homophone there. Fantastic and great mean the same thing too. Next cryptic clue 2, to let out a grunt because you've got taller. So to let out a grunt is a groan, isn't it? But if you've got taller, you've grown. Let's have a look at the difference. So you're groaning there, but if you're growing in size, that's that type of groan there. Good. Now, can you use one of your homophone spelling words in a sentence that contains direct speech? Now, what's direct speech, I hear you ask? Well, let's have a look at this example here. It's got speech marks, punctuation, it starts with a capital letter and ends with a full stop. And this is the example that we have here. I wonder if you can write some direct speech which has that punctuation and everything that you would need. Pause the video now and see if you can use a homophone in that direct speech. Okay, I can't wait to hear what homophones and have a look at the direct speech that you've used in your sentences. Did you notice in this example what the homophone was? That's right. We have piece of cake and of course peace as well. There's a different type of peace for peace and quiet, and that's spelt P-E-A-C-E, spelt differently. Right, now we're going to have a look at all of our spellings. All of them, of course, are homophones, and we've got their pair in the spellings too. So what we will do, and we'll start with the first one, we'll write down grate in our book, which is the grate for grating cheese, if you remember. And we look at it, looking, say it out loud, grate. Then we cover it with our hand, we write it down, and then we check if we got our spellings right. And if you have to make any corrections at the end, then you can write that there too. Okay, see if you can work through all of those spellings. There are 10 of them. And then once you're ready, unpause the video and we'll move on to the next slide. We'll move on in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're on to our final bit of handwriting for the week. So let's have a look at the XE join, and then we'll use it in some words after we're done. Let's have a quick look at how we do it. Okay, here we are back again with the XE join. So I'm going to start on the line, curve up to the top of the X, which is halfway up the line. Then we kind of do like a backward C, and then do a forward C, don't we, into the E. Let's try it. Let's have a look again. Follow the line. Good. So don't be fooled. It's not like when you write a times question or a multiply question in your maths books. It's done very quickly. I'll play it very quickly, very differently. Let's do it one more time. Okay. Give 5 of those a try in your book, exactly like the example shows you. And then once you're happy with one, circle it, and then we'll have a look at how we can get that join into some words that we can practice. Right, here we are. Now we've practiced the XE join, and you're happy with your best one. Let's have a look at these 3 words. We've got mixed, boxes, and exercise. So what we're going to do is give each one of these words, put each one of these words in our book 3 times and really focus on that XE join that we've been practicing. Okay, fantastic spelling and handwriting again this week, Year 3. Can't wait to see you next week with more.